Hey, it's Mark. I'm going to look at some stocks and indices tonight. Let's just jump right into some major indices. And one of my favorites that I always like to watch and trade is IWM, Russell 2000. As I've been saying, it's pretty much been moving along with the banks. Like you can see, there's been a lot of similarities. Not with the overall gains, but this has been pretty much in lockstep with the regional banks, because there's a lot of small cap banks in the small cap index, of course. So it's coming up to my trend line here. I drew out this trend line a while ago. Like these are my levels for IWM. So it's got good support range here at about 181 to 182. So like here it dipped a little below, but that turned out to be like a trend support level. And then here it held trend support again, and it was basically in this level range here. Like this one can probably bump up a little bit. So next stop, if it breaks through, 181, and if it breaks through 182 to 181, the next stop's like 179. And the high there is about 180, 179 is the next stop. So it's a pretty big level here. It's gotta hold this, or it's going to be a technical breakdown. Like you can see, the lows that it was putting in when it was in this uptrend was here. So if it cracks through, 181 to 182, that's a pretty big level. And if it breaks through below this, it's going to be in a technical downtrend, because the momentum's shifted if it breaks down below. So then I think it can easily hit 170 area. But we'll see like the next week or so. I mean, who knows? It looks like it's trying to go lower maybe tomorrow too. So we'll see what happens. So that's a key level to watch, and big time levels here. And KRE is pretty similar. It's right up, it actually hit the support level today. So if it doesn't hold the lows today, we're going to be in a breakdown. The low is 42.47. Today it hit 42.47 for the low. It just came out perfectly. Like this one here was, we'll zoom in. So this hammer right here, the low is 42.47. You can see it right here, the 42.47, and then it almost got close to that here, hit 42.74, and then the low for today was 42.47, and it held, and it closed slightly higher, but it's really flirting with some serious breakdown action. So if it breaks down, next stop's 41.39 or 41.40, and I don't see why it wouldn't hit it with the way these levels and these trend lines are going. Like you can see it broke this uptrend here on that day, and it's just been moving lower since. So let's see if we can get a channel. Like that's pretty much a rough downtrend channel. So it's gotta hold that, or we're gonna see some more lows for sure. But you never know. But that's where the technicals are. So I went through some scans. I didn't see anything that really stood out in a supernova scan or other ones. there's some stocks with momentum that are moving, like NWBO has a pretty good chart. NWBO, it's a former runner. It's had runs in the past, and it just broke out of a triangle consolidation there. So it's a really good chart today. It broke out of that, and it's in an uptrend. Like, you look at the past, it's had some decent runs. So back in or more recently, back in 2020, it had a good run, and in 2022, and maybe it'll run again this year because it's just been running every year now. So maybe this is it. Like, I was trying to find this rough level here. It hit resistance a lot here. You can see, it's hard to see, but it hit resistance there a lot of times, like there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like all the way back to mid 22. It hit off of this 82, 81, 79, 79. So about 80 cents is the big level, 79, 80 cents. So it hit 75 today. So we'll see if it looks like it's going to punch through with this pretty strong momentum here on what looks like a pretty weak day for the indices. That's a really good setup, that triangle right here. Like, today was like the perfect day to trade this breakout, but I didn't see it, of course, yesterday or my scans, but it looks like it's going to have some follow through off of that triangle. Like, a triangle like that will probably run 2 days at least. So it's pretty good volume today too. 3.5 million shares traded. So I think it's going to have one more day, and maybe it spikes and then reverses, but I think there's going to be another 5% or so move on it. So that's some of my few long biases. And the UUUU or quad U's, I tweeted that one, or I talked about it on like a couple days ago, a couple trading days ago. It's still really good. Like, this hammer was really nice. It's a uranium and rare earths metals miner, and seemed to be just kind of under the radar for a long time. Like, it got down to $5 in the summer, in the spring. So it's just continuing off of this big trading range breakout. Like, yeah, I put this one on Twitter, this chart, like a couple trading days ago. And it's got some really good technicals. I mean, it's a really good chart that I like to see, that like a range breakout and confirmed bottom. It's a confirmed bottom now that took out this resistance level. So the support's now about $8. So it's a good one. And it seemed to be, it's kind of like under the radar one. Like, I looked at the fundamentals, are pretty good. Like, I looked at them months ago. I just didn't really see a trade in it, because I looked at the fundamentals of a lot of miners and rare earths. Because the rare earths are a pretty interesting industry, because the competition's really really big with, like, China has like huge chunk of the rare earth metals. So any company that's in this business is I think pretty good position, because there's not a lot of places to get the metals. It's like China is always putting restrictions and stopping exports. So that's a good one still, and it even has calls. It has options. I didn't trade this today. Like, I'm probably gonna buy them tomorrow. Some calls, so like it has like $9 calls. So, but I put on the FTCH puts, and I think that was about it. The save looks good too. I mean, save's back in this trading range. Well, let's look at FTCH first. It's another one of those breakdowns. It hit my breakdowns on my 52-week low scan, and a lot of times you see these big gap downs. They just keep going and going. Like gap downs are pretty powerful, and gap ups too, of course. But it seems like these 52-week breakdowns are a lot easier to trade. Like there's usually less fake outs. Like if you trade a breakout, like a 52-week breakout, they tend to fake out a lot, and they pretty rarely just keep going and going, like going day after day. But this, you can see here, like this one's been down like 4 days in a row at least. Well, after I broke that level there, it's like, well, basically 4 or 5 days in a row. So, but it's been red every day pretty much. But this one's a good one. I got the $2 strike puts, which are looking pretty good. I got the October 6th. So I think it's gonna hit that for sure, or at least it's a really good setup. Like these breakdowns have been pretty good setups, and the stock's been in trouble for a long time. Like it's pretty much been trending down since 21. So some of these stocks just never recovered from the peak from 2020, 21. And my other breakdown play I've got now is FCEL, fuel cell. It's basically the same kind of chart. It's a nice breakdown off of 52-week lows. It's been down 3, 4, 5 days, 6 days in a row now. So that's the bear flag there. But that's just the breakdown level there. But there's the bear flag. You can see it right there. So yeah, FCEL's been. So if you look at the stocks like this that haven't even put up any significant rallies, even with the the stock market up, and a lot of companies doing well, and I mean even retail, like, and then you got Groupon. Like if you look at the chart of Groupon's breaking out again. I don't think it's an all-time level, but I mean what I'm saying is there's a lot of good companies out there, and a lot of companies doing well, and stock prices doing well. So if the companies fail to participate, that's pretty telling, in my opinion. Their fundamentals are really bad, or the expectation of fundamentals are still bad. So, but it's kind of like my other one, the PTON. It's kind of the same story. It's like I've been saying this in these videos for a while. You had the peak of the bubble, like, or the not bubble, like the cycle or whatever you want to call it, back in 2020, 2021, is sort of the back end of when all these IPOs came out from more speculative companies, and stuff like Upstart and even Peloton. Like Peloton, in my opinion, as I've been saying, was like a COVID play, like a COVID niche thing that was never really set up. Like the expectations just kind of overshot the reality, after the rate cycle. So you got interest rates going from really low to really high, and these companies, it's hard to finance their debt and finance themselves when the rates are high and the cost of capital is a lot higher. So I mean, if you just look at the chart, it's like the best it does is it goes sideways for like a month or two, and then I mean, it had like a little spike there in January, February, but if I'm not mistaken, that was just the overall market, or the one, like maybe retail or discretionary too. Yeah, let's look at XRT because it makes me think of XRT. Yeah, back in January, February, XRT spiked too. So it was kind of just going with the tide there, but I mean, XRT is one of the retail is one of those ones that's been weak too for a long time. Like, just these massive trading range here. So there's the trading range on XRT, and it's right in the middle of it, and it really looks like it wants to come down and test those levels there. Like, yeah, it's a pretty big candle today. Ooh, just punched through. Yep, it's a low. It's a low there. It's a breakdown. Like 1 or 2 more days, this holds. It's like for sure chart breakdown. Like, to make sure it doesn't reverse again. Like, but yeah, it's coming down too. It may actually be leading. It's probably leading the small caps and the other charts we looked at, like that KRE. So I wouldn't be surprised if small caps broke down here now. But it's just one day out of this trend line. But if it doesn't reverse quickly tomorrow, it's we're definitely going to be testing these lows, like 57. So the other one I was looking at, Talk, it's had some pretty good move here, but looks like it's stalled out now. But it's one of those that's been sort of slowly uptrending too. But I have definitely more puts on now than calls. So I'm not. There's not really many charts that I want to hold for, you know, weeks or months now. And you can kind of see that sort of play out with the IWM too. But let's look at the Qs today. This is my first time checking some of these. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's coming back to this downtrend level here. Like, actually, let's say if you draw it pretty conservative, we're hitting it right now, or we're about to hit it. So looks like this is the channel now. It's always in channels usually. So see, that was the up channel it was in, and then it broke, and then it held that level, and then we're back to where we were before. So this could be the channel, the new channel right here. I wouldn't be surprised. So we might, the Qs look like they're going to bounce if you know, they hold green tomorrow. But or it may just grind down in this channel here. Like, I guess I'll just get rid of it so I can show you, so you make sure you can see what I'm looking at. This is the channel I'm looking at. These big ones. That's it right there. So, I mean, it very well could hold, and we could, you know, get a bullish move there. But if the Qs and everything else looks bearish, I don't know if it's going to hold. Yeah, stocks are, semis are really weak too. Look at that. Still actually broke through through the channel there. So we got some big time support here, and if it doesn't hold, that's a big time breakdown and pretty key. And it's just kind of downtrending too. Like if you look at it recently here, that may be some sort of a steeper downtrend actually than the Qs. But of course, this isn't like these ETFs aren't the best, you know, stock for stock comparison, but because the weightings and things like that. But that's the downtrend right there that we're in, because you can see it kissed it 2 times there, and it kissed it there, and kissed that level there. So yeah, if you look at it, like, always be conservative and call it there, right? So it looks like, based on this channel, that we're gonna go down the next couple days, or at least it's gonna come lower, or in the short term here. So you can see how it just wants to come down to that level there. That's if you just look at the channel, but it's got levels here too. But yeah, I think it's going to come down to at least 475 before it figures out what it's going to do next. But it's looking pretty bearish. You can see it did a channel there too. So not looking bullish there at all, really. But we gotta see what it does at these levels. But looks pretty bearish. The other one I was looking at Tesla. I started looking at this TSLL because of the options are just cheaper, premium, and I drew up these levels. I drew up this. There's a really nice ascending triangle here, and it looked like it was going to go. And I was thinking of trading it actually. Like I totally lost track of it. I didn't have it on my watch list, or I wasn't looking at it when I was looking at my screens the other day, or yesterday, or Friday. But it's got this uptrend too, and it's coming down. It's coming down to this trend support here. So I really think it's going to be red tomorrow, and it's going to find a way to test this trend support. It's got rough trend support there, and I'm bearish on it, especially since this ascending triangle failed. So I see that kind of as a failed signal. So it kind of screams bearish when a bullish signal doesn't go through, when a bullish pattern doesn't play out. It's more bearish than, it's just a good setup usually. So of course it was today, as it failed that. But I didn't pay attention to it today, but I will now, because it's coming down, and you can see it with Tesla itself here. It's even clearer, really. I think it's got one more red day, and it's gonna test this level, and it may break below it. Like we'll see, but this failed breakout there just seems really telling to me. So that's the setup to watch. Like if it holds trend support, it could be a buy if it holds, but like it did here. But we'll see. I think it's coming down like one more day. So save just came down again. I think it's another good buy here if it hits this support level here. It's like 1580. It's around where I originally bought my calls for October, because they got a hearing. October 16th is the hearing date to discuss it's like about the merger with JetBlue, so it's got about a month or so. But the November calls are a lot safer, because I'm not sure how long the trial is going to be. But I got the $20 strikes, so I just need it to be above 20 before the October 16th, 20th. But let's go through. Yeah, so I talked about the shorts. Yeah, these charging stocks still weak. I really thought I was gonna try to bounce here, but I might be buying some more puts on CHPT if it breaks down tomorrow, if it goes below 534, because it's still it just failed to bounce there. So it's a good breakdown trade, just like the FCEL FTCH. BLNK is really nice today. I think that's the one I still have. I took profit in my CHPT puts last week, but I was expecting just a bounce, but it's going to be good again, it looks like. And BLNK just came off a bear flag, so it looks good too. It's coming up on big time lows there at 346. So if it cracks at 346, it's a good short. So be another breakdown. Lots of setups for shorts here, and the JKS too. I put that one out. It's really like a descending triangle here. You can see it. See it paired with this. It's a descending triangle right there, like right here. So that's a good one too on a breakdown. Lots of good breakdown setups now. I guess that just goes along with some of these indices too. They're just kind of breaking down. And SPY actually took out this level too. So it's make or break like the next couple of days here. If we take out the 442, what was the low there? 442.75, 442.56. Yeah, ooh, it's a big time breakdown too. It's just not looking good. Like, see here, it tried to rebound here off that level, and then the highest point it got here wasn't even at the previous high, so it's in like a down channel too. So we'll see like this week, but it looks bearish if you just look at it today. And these the weed stock, the cannabis stocks are coming down too. It's really tempting to short on this support breakdown. I'm not so sure because the volume was really big on these spike days, so I think it may get choppy. So like, I mean, it's been choppy like the past few trading days, so. But it's really tempting as a short here if it cracks tomorrow below 110, 110 is the level there to watch. And the cannabis ETFs are pretty much the same thing. Like, they're just really choppy. Like, it's just, I have a feeling it might just go into like a long pennant, like almost like a triangle or something. So I'm not gonna. I mean, it's just, I don't think it's a good setup to short, really. Like, it's kind of hard to read right now. It just didn't go up enough too. Like, I'd rather short a spike like that if it was up, 500% or something. But yeah, CGC just wasn't up enough. And maybe I could be wrong, and they're just gonna do their usual pop and then fade, but I just don't like the price action on this. But it is a short on the breakdown 110. If you can see some risk reward there, but so I'm just making sure I got everything. I think that's about it. Let me just double check these other watch lists. Yeah, NWBO, talked about that one. That's one of the few good long setups I found. And yeah, some of these other, this is my long bias watch list, and it's pretty rough today. Like SOUN just had a little pop, but that one's not looking good, really. Yeah, Clove, that one was a reject too, just a fake out. It's really better, it's a better short setup now. I mean, this level just got totally rejected, and that, like, all that consolidation flag just got rejected. So I think this one might have puts on the, like, a one strikes look pretty good. Somehow oil was up today too. Yeah, it's just slow grinder. Yeah, I still like oil long. I mean, it's got the momentum, like when oil trends, it just trends really well and it's going. As long as it holds trend, it's always a good long. It's got a good trend there. Let's see the energy names. Let's see what those did. Yeah, pretty mixed. We got HLX is actually down a little bit. SLB's sideways. Yeah, so I just double checked everything in my portfolio, and those are the main ones I wanted to talk about tonight. So I'll just wrap it up there, and if I see anything else, as always, I'll tweet it out, and maybe update on some of my puts. Like they've been doing really well. Like I've actually got pretty light on positions now. It's mostly just puts, except for some of the energy calls, and like I got BTE calls, the BTE, and I've got so I got the lab calls, and got, that's about it really on the, I got the HLX puts, but yeah, got the MRO puts too. Cause I traded the USO calls, and I may have had the weeklies. I think I probably lost on decay on those, but USO, I still like USO as with calls. So yeah, I'll just wrap it up there and catch you later.